So this last weekend was the last weekend of the CDC tour, and overall the darts were more bad than good, but I did have 2 comeback wins on the stream on Sunday, and after that second win, I finally have found my darts from the last couple of years, and I am so excited moving forward. I've been struggling with my darts so much for the last year, but I finally have my throwing confidence back. So in this one, I'm just going to do a little recap of the CDC and just talk about how my darts are feeling now, and how I plan to use this momentum to get my darts better. But first, guys, if you're not subscribed, please make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go. Drop this video a thumbs up and check out bullshotdarts.com for some Bullshot apparel. Alright guys, let's get into this video. So going into this weekend, first let's talk about the points here. So the top 40 players of the tour get their tour card for the next year. And I was sitting at 41 going into this weekend, so I was really hoping that I could get in at least just a couple of wins, get enough points to move up just at least one spot so I could retain my tour card. That was on my mind all weekend, and I haven't felt good in a very long time with darts, so knowing that I had to throw good to hopefully get some points and get my card back, and not feeling good was some added pressure on myself I wish I didn't put on myself, because Friday and Saturday ended up not being very good darts and not feeling good. But when Sunday rolled around, I was able to just relax and find my old darts and finally feel like myself again. So let's start with Friday and Saturday. Between the 2 days, I got 1 win and 2 losses, and the win that I had wasn't even that good. I think I threw a 74, which I was happy that I threw a 74, but the darts didn't feel good. So this last year with my struggles, I still have had some decent matches in the mid to high 70s, but it's so much different when you throw darts like that and they don't feel good. You know, there's matches where I'll go out there and throw a 7. Well, there's matches that I'll go out there and I'll feel like I threw really bad, but then I'll look at the numbers and I'll end up throwing a 75. Those matches, yes, it's still nice to have those numbers, but I would rather feel really comfortable and throw a smaller average than feel uncomfortable and throw a better average, because when I feel uncomfortable, I just don't feel like I'm throwing good and it messes with my mindset and confidence. When I'm feeling good, at least I know that there's the opportunity to throw my best darts because I feel capable of doing it, because I have a higher confidence, a better mindset, and overall just feel better throwing my dart. So even though I threw that 74 in my first match, it didn't feel good. And then that uncomfortableness really brought me down in my next match, because I dropped down to, I think, a 65 and lost. So that was Friday. And then Saturday was the same thing. I think I threw a 72. But the thing is, I got beat pretty easily. So when you're getting beat pretty good, it's easier to have a higher average because throw less darts at a double. And that was kind of the product of that match there. I played Matt Arpin, and he threw an 82 and just beat me pretty handily. And I threw a 72, but once again, without throwing any doubles, it's kind of easier to higher average. But at the end of the day, the comfortability that I had was still non-existent. After Friday and Saturday, going into Sunday, I just kind of told myself to relax. I just forced myself to have fun. I was hoping we get a 180 there, because I just haven't been having much fun throwing darts lately. When you're not feeling comfortable playing, it's kind of hard to have fun because you're more so thinking about how uncomfortable you feel and what you think you should be throwing. So I've spent a lot of games and darts time this year just thinking about how good or how bad I'm feeling. So I haven't been having too much fun. So Sunday I told myself, you know what, Nick? Force yourself to have fun, force yourself to smile, force yourself to laugh, and just make sure you have a good time. So that's exactly what I did. And it didn't help me at all going into my first match. So this is when I got on the stream board. So I was the first match up on the stream board, and I did not feel good at all. I went down 0-4 pretty quick. Too many missed darts at doubles. And then it was at that point where I told myself, it's like, okay, well, it looks like I'm probably not getting my tour card. I'm down 4-0. I'm gonna get embarrassed on the stream. So I kind of just relaxed and just stopped thinking about my darts and threw. And my darts didn't get too much better in that match, but I guess they got good enough to come back and get the win. My opponent also did miss a handful of doubles. to win the match. So it wasn't a pretty win, and I didn't feel good about myself. I was actually kind of negative about myself. I was like, yeah, I won, but oh my gosh, like my darts were just so bad. I'm still feeling uncomfortable. So as I was leaving the streaming room, I had a negative mindset even though I won. And some of my friends started coming up to me and they're like, hey, like good win, great comeback and stuff. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, I mean, I got lucky. The darts were bad. He missed doubles, this and that. But they were like, no, dude, like you had a good comeback win. Like take that and enjoy it. Like it was a good match. So they were kind of talking me up and stuff, and that felt pretty good. And then I had a minute to think to myself, and I'm like, you know what? I stopped caring about my darts because I thought I was just gonna lose. And yeah, it wasn't pretty, and I don't feel good about it, but you're right. I did have this comeback win. I did get the win, and that's what matters. So they helped me boost up my confidence and mindset going into my second match. And also too, my second match was against JT Davis on the stream. And if you don't know who JT Davis is, he is probably the biggest up and comer in the United States right now. I haven't really heard the name in the past, but this year he ended I believe he ended #1 on the summer series of the CDC tour. I'm pretty sure that he qualified for the Continental Cup, but the biggest thing is that he was on the stage for the US Masters in Madison Square Garden. So he has had a heck of a year. So with me feeling uncomfortable, knowing I'm going up against JT Davis, I was just able to relax even that much more, because at that point, like the announcer said, I was playing on house money at that point because I should have lost. But since I didn't, I was still in it. So hey, just relax. You should have been out and just throw. So that match, he went up 4-2 on me, and I was able to win the last 3 legs to win 5-4. And I had 5 180s in that match, which I was really happy about. The 180s were feeling really good. But most importantly, something clicked during this match. Something happened this match that I finally started feeling like myself. My uncomfortableness was everything before, like this last year. My stance, I was wobbly. I never knew where to stand. I was constantly moving my stance around, trying to figure out what was wrong. My grip has felt bad the last year. I never felt like I was holding the dart right. And then I think my biggest thing was my follow through, because I could just not throw a straight dart. I can't tell you how many 5s and 1s I would hit. And then when it would come down to doubles, I would be aiming at doubles and hitting a lot of neighbors and just completely wrecking my chance at anything that I would have. But playing against JT, something clicked. I felt like myself again. So one of the big mindsets that I think is super important when throwing darts is that never just aim and hope that you hit your target. Have the mindset of you're going to hit your target and you're gonna put your dart there. And that is something I have been missing out on for a very long time, but I finally feel that way again. My stance feels good. I don't even think about it. I just go up and throw. My grip, same thing. It just feels good. And my follow through, well, the darts are going straight again for the first time in a long time. So, I mean, that's pretty much it, guys, as far as the tournament went. Friday, Saturday, not so good. And Sunday, you know, I had those 2 comeback wins, which was nice. And then after JT, I had to play Alex Bellman, and he just completely whooped me. I think he threw a 98 average in that game. And it was actually pretty funny because back-to-back legs, he was sitting on 208. And so the first leg, he goes trip 20, trip 16 to leave himself 40. And I was just like, ouch, that hurt. And then the second leg, he had 208 left again, and he went trip 20, and I'm like, this guy's gonna do it again. And sure as heck, he goes down just to trip 16. I couldn't help but just audibly laugh out loud because I was just like, couldn't believe it. Alex Bellman is just a phenomenal darts player, and just seeing darts like that, you know, I'm a fan of darts too. So when I see it, I love it, even though it's against me. But so he ended up beating me. But once again, the comfortableness that I felt against JT went into that match too. Yeah, I lost, but I felt comfortable. And that's a loss that I don't mind, because when you feel comfortable, you know, that's what matters, at least to me. So this is another thing I talk about. When you are in a slump, it's so important to keep throwing your darts and never give up. It can be so easy to just put the darts down, not throw, and not think about it. But the thing is, if you do that, you're never gonna find your darts again. And I'm not gonna lie, there's been a lot of points in this last year where it was hard for me to pick up my darts because it was more frustrating than anything. But I did never give up. I kept throwing my darts. I kept going to tournaments and trying to find my darts. And that's the thing. So the match before, I didn't feel comfortable. In the matter of 1 hour's time between that match and then in the middle of the match against JT, something just clicked, and now I'm finally throwing the darts that I know I can throw, that I've been throwing the last couple of years. The last thing you want to do is stop throwing, because then you'll never get out of the slump. If you keep throwing, keep trying, eventually whatever you're missing out on is going to click, and then you're gonna start throwing the best darts that you've ever thrown. I always talk about when coming out of a slump, I always feel like the darts are better than they were before. So I'm really hoping that coming out of this slump, I can even throw better darts than I was throwing in 2021 and 2022. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself because I've only been feeling good for a few days here, but you know, I'm confident in how I'm feeling moving forward. So I'm just hoping I can bump up my numbers up a little bit now after this slump, because I want to be a lot more competitive on the CDC tour as well as other tournaments, because a lot of the tournaments I even went to this year, yeah, I went because I just love throwing darts, hanging out with people and having a good time, but I didn't really have much confidence that I was going to do anything or win any. Now, at least going back out to these, I actually feel like confident, and I'm going to enjoy the darts aspect as well as, you know, the social aspect and all that good stuff. All right, guys, that's it for this one. So overall, it wasn't the most successful weekend that I've had, but the fact that I was able to find my darts again for the first time in a long time makes this one of my biggest weekends of darts ever, which at the end of the day, I take as a win. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Drop the video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. BullshotDarts.com for Bullshot Apparel. I'll see you guys in the next video, and shoot well.